Audacity. You certainly have a lot
What's
of
up,
audacity.
everyone? Another episode,
Woo!
another podcast. How's it going?
Yeah, another week of talking about all the nerdy stuff out there,
Man,
including
AC was just
dumb
talking like
stuff.
before the stream about how happy he was the Acolyte got canceled.
Wow, I'm getting shamed. I'm getting shamed. Like I didn't just say Disney's ass for doing that.
Mmm,
Like I'm getting
really?
slandered here, man. I really hate
Honestly,
the way Disney
I
did it.
honestly thought you'd be happy that it got canceled, given how much you didn't like it when we talked about it on the other episodes.
Yeah, but like if I was like that, right, then I would have been. Then Clone Wars should have been cancelled after season one. Because if you've ever watched Clone Wars, like the 2008 movie, which introduces Ahsoka, and then like season one,
Oh yeah, the movie
they're
wasn't.
terrible. They're both terrible, and it's like, well, they still somehow actually kept going. So I'm like, bruh, it was terrible, but like, there's potential. Maybe they could have like actually figured out their footing properly in season two, and then people would have been like, season two was amazing. You can kind of skip season one because like it's a bit of a nothing burger, but season two, holy shit, all the cool shit happened. All the stuff we actually, or they actually did something with these characters in an interesting way, and like, but like, no, let's just fucking can it. Let's not even give it the chance to actually try and be interesting. Let's just fucking can it straight away.
Oh, for you're
Because
referring to Acolyte, right?
yeah, I'm referring to Acolyte, and then them being like, and it's just like the idea of just, Disney, you're playing everything safe. You can't take risks because you're run by shareholders. You're not run by creatives. You just want to be the shareholder, fucking paradise. But, there is no chance of you
What?
actually being a shareholder paradise because you're not going to make any money because you're being fucking lazy or you're playing it ultra safe with all of your creative decisions. So now anyone who watches your stuff kind of goes, meh, I don't really want it. It's going to be a sequel to this movie that, yeah, it was cool when it came out, but I'm not that hyped to go see it. It came out like, what, 10 years ago? I don't really care. And we're going to keep all the. Also, I promise you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they've announced at Disney. They're now at the Disney showing. They announced Incredibles 3, right? Now,
Yes.
I would say Incredibles 3 would be a fucking amazing movie if they if they have the balls to time skip and have all the characters age up. So like have maybe Helen and Bob at like almost retirement age. And like they're gonna retire from being superheroes because they've been doing it for like 50 years, and the kids are all like getting to the point of they can take over. They're
Yeah.
now legit superheroes. They're not like kids who their parents have to look after. They're legitimate superheroes in their own right. It would also be cool to like see them all in their own costumes, like stuff that's very specific to each
Oh
character.
right, yeah. I'd love to see
Because
Dash
like
in like a Quicksilver Flash type costume, and I don't.
yeah,
I
because like
Violet probably would be like Invisible Woman, Sue Storm type costume. I don't know
yeah,
what Jack Jack would be.
but like see, because Jack he's taking the place of Franklin Richards, so he's like the god tier type character in their team, right? Because they are
Yeah.
blatantly just the Fantastic Four. There is very little difference, but because of that, you can do cool stuff if you just have the balls to age them up and be like, okay, let's have all these characters be off doing their own things because now they've evolved, they've grown, they've gone through all of this shit, and now they're actively doing shit to be their own characters. And like we saw what Bob's original suit looked like when he was just Mr. Incredible, right? And we've seen
Hmm.
what Elastigirl's suit looked like. Now imagine the kids get that same treatment for their own suits, and it would be way more interesting to see. It would be way more creative than what we've got, where it's just like, oh, cool. Yes, we've got everyone in the same color red suits. They all look pretty much the same. It'd be cool to see them all be like unique, and then still have like a team up. Maybe even have like some reason for them to like have drifted apart over the years, and then like the movie's kind of them figuring out how to be a team again or work in the superhero field as a family. That would be a cool story, I reckon.
Yeah. But
What
you
do you
know,
think?
it's just gonna be the same old, same old.
Yeah, because Disney wants to be safe. They want to play the safe
I
thing.
would say
They're bringing the
I
money.
would say like the most like unsafe thing they probably did was make ACOLYTE, because it was like so removed from like the current story of like Star Wars and took place before anything actually happened.
That's true, but if you look at the story, right, most of the choices they made were kind of the weird safe choices. I don't know how to explain it because it doesn't feel like there's a lot.
Well, like
Going on in
what
it.
choices were safe?
Okay, when I say like safe choices, right, they chose to avoid Plagueis. They had him in as like a clip show of, look, we put your thing that you want. Look, jingle, jingle, jingle. Look. Here's our little thing. You can look at our like character instead of having him play as this dark character. They also took the lazy route of how to show the fall of the Jedi instead of showing them as like they're still doing their best to be like heroic. They're now shown as like kind of the way the Acolyte depicts them is they're kind of just dickheads
Flawed?
who they're more than flawed. So like if you compare you can, because it's supposed to be at the beginning of their fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can be flawed, but they shouldn't be like basically the same as the prequel Jedi. They shouldn't be already at the stage where like they're like 2 seconds away from Palpatine murdering them because they've become so entangled with the Republic and stuff, and they already feel like that. They feel the same as the prequel Jedi. They should have felt like what the Jedi described to be by Obi-Wan. And I think part of the reason that they ended up feeling too flawed for the era they're supposed to be in is that the story focuses too much on their point of view and doesn't like give us majority Sith point of view. So it feels like maybe there's a bit of the Sith giving you false information about how the Jedi are, because now you're hearing everything from their point of view and what they think the Jedi are supposed to be. So it's like you're definitely only getting the villain's point of view. And the reason why I say that they were cowardly and that Disney took the safe options because they made all the like dark side characters feel like the good guys, right? And that takes away from the dark side being evil. It just makes it feel like everyone's kind of meh. They're all good guys. There's no bad guys. Everyone can be good. It's like, what happened to the days of having villains just be fucking villains? Disney, you guys perfected this with a bunch of your fucking classic villains that everybody remembers to this day. My best example for this is like fucking Jafar, dude.
Well,
the original Jafar. You can remember him, right?
Yes, I've seen Aladdin and all that stuff.
But like, if I said Jafar, you can conjure the character in your head straight away.
Yes, the cane, or like the staff, the parrot, I don't know what bird it is, but
Yeah,
it was the parrot, the snake, stuff like that. But when they made Tales from the Jedi and they expanded on Dooku, they made him more than just like an evil mustache twirling villain.
He was always more than an evil mustache twirling villain. Even in like the original law, because the films didn't have much time with him, right? So episode 2 and 3, you don't get a lot of time with him because in episode 2 he's framed as kind of just the rival political, like the rival to Palpatine.
And then in the Clone Wars show that they have like a couple episodes with him, but then they go into it more in like the Tales from the Jedi where he was trying to tell the council that the Sith were there, but they didn't listen. And
they did listen. It's a bit more complicated because like say with Qui-Gon, right? In the episode where you see Qui-Gon die, or just where he talks to Qui-Gon and Yaddle, right?
Yeah.
He's already chosen to go with Sidious, right? Because you see him erasing Kamino from the archives. You see him doing stuff. So he's already chosen his side before Qui-Gon dies. He's already decided, I need to be on this side because Palpatine actually knows something and I can make a difference on this side, right? That's why he ends up killing Yaddle at the end of the episode. But you don't get that. You don't even get that from the Force. Also, what up, Opals? How you doing?
Hey, Opal.
Hope you're doing well, dude.
Lady.
But like, you don't... Oh, dude is gender...
No, you say dudette.
That's only if you're being specific. I've called everyone dude for decades, man. I've called women.
This is why the Jedi fell.
People do.
This is why the Jedi fell.
Nah. Opal, do you care if I just call you a dude? See, non-binary dude doesn't matter.
We should make
dude is non-binary, man. Dude is non-binary. Dude
X.
Is genderless.
Dude X. I like that. Dude X. Dude X for non-binary.
No, that's not. I don't like Dude X because it just sounds like Durex. Are we just gonna start calling them condoms now? Is that why? Because people will think that's what you're calling them. You're calling them condoms.
I mean, if you mispronounce it, yeah.
And you can't make it that easy to mispronounce that. Don't make it that easy to mispronounce.
Dude X and Durex. Look,
yeah, I mean, you may not use them, but they still exist.
Look at what you're doing to them. You see?
I'm making them laugh their asses off and get confused. I think that's a great success, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yep.
Comparing Opal to a condom.
No, I didn't compare Opal to a condom. I just said Dude X sounds like Durex.
Okay. I will refer to Opal as Dude X from now on, and AC will have trouble saying
I'll just
Durex.
mock you because I think your thing of genderizing dude is a bit dumb, and it doesn't. Dude can be utterly genderless. It doesn't need it. You don't need to put dudette because then you're adding gender for some reason, as opposed to saying dude has no gender, and then there's no issues because it didn't have a gender to begin with, unless you decide that
very
to begin with.
very similar thing, says Amber the Witch. I see.
Yes, right, Amber. That's what I was thinking. They're all the same. It's
okay.
Dumb.
Well, we talked about.
In the end, it doesn't matter.
Yes, it doesn't matter. We talked about how AC was happy that ACOLYTE got cancelled.
Why do you keep saying this like it's facts? I didn't care. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was a terrible thing because it's part of the end of actual originality because they were trying to be original and different. They failed, but it's bad because the other thing is it's going to make everyone who hated on the show think they won. When they've just kind of shot themselves in the foot more than anything.
I hate that.
That's also a fucking failure because that's not what you want at all.
It's true. I hate that like the people that actively really hated on the show, like said it was like the worst thing, are gonna feel validated since ACOLYTE got canceled. Honestly, I feel like they ended it on like a high note. That they didn't really need a season 2, and I think they even said that they
ended
made
the entire show on cliffhangers.
They made like I think they made season 1. They ended season 1, and they did it on purpose, in case that they didn't get a season 2. So
they ended the entire thing on a cliffhanger, man. They had Plagueis show up. Where these Sith wannabes have been, they had Yoda just be a cameo at the end, and they had like indications of oversight by the Republic, but they didn't do anything useful. The boys, however, had a great ending, and I'm still happy for that, and it didn't get cancelled. Excellent. But Disney's full of cowards.
Well, I mean, the boys ended on a cliffhanger. You remember?
Yeah, I know, but it still had an excellent ending.
You didn't like the ending for ACOLYTE? Why not?
Do I have to go over this again? It was crap.
Because you hated it. You hate the show. You hate what they did. You're a hater. AC the hater.
No, but you're very determined to get me to say that, aren't you? I can sense it. I can sense the determination to make me have a binary opinion of everything.
AC hates. Okay, so another Star Wars related thing that I saw. Tamora Robinson.
Yeah. Tamora Morrison.
Morrison. I thought I'm not good with names, but the actor who played Boba Fett. He said he's not going to appear in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie because of the fan reception to the Book of Boba Fett.
Really,
that it affected Boba Fett going forward. So
yeah, but you see the problem with that irritates me is even more is it's they just turned that into the Mando show, so they're like, fan reception was poor, but it's because they again took the weirdly safe option and just like turned it into the Mando show because Mando was popular, instead of like trusting that Boba Fett could carry his own show. And they also did like weird things with him that made him kind of a generic Disney character instead of Boba Fett.
Wait, so don't get me wrong, but were there only like 2 episodes that had the Mandalorian, like were Mandalorian focused?
There were 4.
4? Really?
Half the show.
What episodes? Because I remember...
It's the second half. So episodes 1 through 4 were Boba. And episodes 5 through 8. Oh, this is a 6 episode. Let me double check. I have the...
Let me see.
Let me check this. Nope,
it's 5.
There was enough of the show that it's a 7 episode. It's a 7 episode run. So episode 5 was entirely Mando. Like there's Boba has a cameo at the very beginning and end. But
yeah, that's the one where he gets the Darksaber. Okay.
Also, if you watch, the music is basically just the end credits even are just the Mando song. The whole episode's just about Mando, and then episode 6 was Mando and Grogu. It was like Grogu's half of what was going on, with a little bit of Boba's stuff at the very end. Like, even then, it wasn't very important. It was Cad Bane killing someone. And then episode 7, Boba's in it, but it mostly seems to focus on Mando. Like, Boba vanishes halfway through the fight to go find his Rancor and stuff, and I'm like, bruh, what the fuck?
So, okay, Mandalorian
is the most awesome character.
In episode 5.
Yeah, like I said, there's only 7 episodes in Book of Boba Fett, and then 5, 6, and 7 are 5 and 6 are the giant plot points that should have been important to season 3 of Mando, and B, they're
and then episode 6 is Mando and Grogu focused, and then 7 is Luke, and 7 is the and 7 is the final battle episode.
Yeah. But
all in all, I really like the show. I wish people stopped hating on it so much. I like seeing more of Boba Fett. I really liked his.
I personally like Boba a lot more than Mando.
I really liked his story with the Tusken Raiders, how all that happened. So that was really nice.
No, it was cool, but I also feel like I'm more likely to go rewatch Book of Boba Fett over ACOLYTE or even Mando season 3, because Mandalorian season 3 was crap. I didn't like it because it lost all the interesting narrative potential it had by just putting that in Book of Boba Fett. Mando dealing with having the Darksaber, they just straight up do it in Book of Boba Fett for some reason. If they'd wanted Mando in it, he should have.
So
only
far,
been in the
you
last
didn't
episode.
like ACOLYTE, you didn't like Book of Boba Fett, and you didn't like Mandalorian season 3.
I literally said I'm more likely to go rewatch it, and I kind of want to go rewatch it because I liked most of Book of Boba Fett except when it was just Mando's season 2.5. In fact, they kind of rushed through all the cool stuff they could have done with Din and Grogu by just straight up fucking putting it in a different show. I could rant for days about how annoyed I am about that fact. But let's move on from the Star Wars news and talk about Skeleton Crew, which is something I'm actually kind of excited for because it has a very E.T. vibe to it. Except they get
we already discussed that last episode.
Did you see?
Did I see what?
But did you see the way they've designed Jude Law's character for the thing?
No. I just saw the trailer.
I'm quite excited for that. That show looks amazing. And then, okay, moving on from our rants about Disney and its cowardice in cancelling shows that had potential but weren't great the first time round and needed maybe a bit more room and a little bit of healthy criticism to build it up. They're let's just ditch that entirely. But
Something really big happened. If we're moving off topic of Star Wars, Gamescom opening night live happened. I wrote down some things that I thought were interesting. They announced Borderlands 4.
Oh yeah,
which is it's so funny, given how bad the movie's doing and how people are like kind of hating on Borderlands at the moment because the movie is so shit.
The movie is bad, but the problem is the games are still quite good. Like if you go back and you,
I honestly felt that they expected the Borderlands movie to do so well that they planned this announcement and they're like hoping like, oh man, the movie's doing so well, so let's announce Borderlands 4 so people can get hyped and excited for it. And the opposite happened. I'm pretty sure people were excited for Borderlands 4, but
no, people were hyped for it. But I've also I saw the trailer, and it kind of bothers me a bit because
in what way?
It looks like it's lost the cel shaded vibes because it looks like they went for a change in art style from what I could see.
Well, I saw the trailer too, and I remember the trailer isn't indicative of like the game footage. They show it in the beginning.
Yeah, but if you go look at, say, the Borderlands 2 trailer, right? You can still see that like cel shaded vibe to it. Same with Borderlands 3. You can already see that like cel shaded stuff that they put in it.
Borderlands 3 announcements. Reveal trailer. Well, the Borderlands 3 announcement trailer, it looks like it was like more far along in development. Maybe they just didn't have much to show for Borderlands 4 then.
Yeah, but they could, if they wanted it to look to not like the, why didn't they use like stuff from the engine from Borderlands 3?
Maybe they're doing with like, Unreal. I don't know.
Because like Borderlands has a very specific look to it. Like the games themselves have a very specific design and look to them. And then like if you just suddenly go hyper realistic, a lot of the fans are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, not actual gameplay. It literally says at the beginning of the trailer.
Yeah, it's just not actual gameplay, but like if you go watch the trailers for all the other games, obviously it's not actual gameplay. For example, you get a guy just like dancing around shooting people in the Borderlands 3, like singing to dance and shit. So I'm like
2025. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more along than they're letting on because it's not a year to make a game like that. If they want it to be good, it has to be like more than a year to make it.
So many people in the comments are like, Gearbox's apology letter for giving us the Borderlands movie.
Yeah, I can see that. Let me just actually double check the trailer because I'm also going off memory.
Let's see. This is either the best or the worst time to announce a fourth game. It's either over or we're so back, literally no in between.
That's true. We'll be back because we'll be free of the... Fuck it. No, this still looks too realistic for me. For my taste.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that they're gonna go back to the cel-shaded thing that they always did with the Borderlands game. But
like that was part of the vibe that made them look so
they're
cool.
5 games in right now, and there's no way that they're switching off of the cel-shaded comic book look.
Is that... you say that, but this looks hyper-realistic from this trailer.
It's a trailer. It literally says not gameplay
not
footage.
Actual gameplay, but just because it's not gameplay doesn't mean they don't use in-engine. And the other games did not go for this. Although the arm does kind of look... I'll reserve all judgment till the actual game comes out.
Yeah, see, that's the way. That's the way to. That's a good take.
I still have a bad feeling about this.
Yes, the Han Solo. We get it. Star Wars. You like Star Wars.
I can have a bad feeling about it and not be a Star Wars reference.
Oh, Goat Simulator Remastered got announced. You saw the trailer for that?
I thought it was
pretty funny.
Did you see the trailer for the what was it called? It was basically like a bunch of games, but they get like an episode of a anthology series.
Oh yeah, the show that's coming out on Prime. I think I sent you the link to that actually on Discord. Basically, it's from the creators from Love, Death, and Robots, the Netflix anthology animated show. They are doing like various video games. So ones that they did, they showed off in the trailer were Warhammer, God of War, Armored Core.
Yeah,
it's called.
They showed Mega Man.
It's called it's called Secret Level. Let's see. List of every game featured in Amazon's Secret Level show. Let's see. So, Pac-Man, Warhammer 40K, Concord, Mega Man, Unreal Tournament, New World, Armored Core, Spelunky, Honor King, Sifu, Dungeons and Dragons, Outer Worlds, Crossfire, Exodus, and various PlayStation games.
It's kind of interesting though to see, because you did say Sifu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been wanting to play Sifu for ages, but like, just looking at the trailer, you're like, this has so much creativity and love in it. What the fuck?
I mean,
Disney seems so lazy by comparison. Like, I feel like half the stuff that happens with Disney is they take super safe options, and Amazon's like, well, we're swimming in money already, so let's fucking just make random shit and hope to see what sticks. Because like, if you went back, Disney would never let The Boys go past like season 1.
They would never have made The Boys in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't have the balls.
I mean, they're starting to go in that direction with Deadpool and Wolverine being like the first MCU R-rated movie, and then Daredevil. Yeah, but like,
you can get away with a lot more when it's a comedy vibe, as opposed to like something.
Yeah. Like Boys, more like political and stuff like that.
Which like The Boys can be funny, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah.
At all. Oh yeah, Pac-Man's apparently in it and looks terrifying.
I literally just listed off the games.
I was rewatching the trailer, that's why I said that.
Oh,
so I was like, Pac-Man just looks terrifying for some reason. It's very weird.
One reason why I'm excited for the show is because we know that Games Workshop is like real protective of their IP. So much so that they just recently came to an agreement with Henry Cavill to do like the Warhammer show. And the fact that Warhammer 40K is being like showed off in the trailer and like in the show makes me think that this is a good first step into possibly getting like more mainstream Warhammer animated content that isn't like strictly on their that strictly isn't like made by them and like made by other people.
Yeah. So it's a bit more open with how it's gonna move along.
Dude, my hope is that they make like an Imperial Guardsman show, focused on like one Imperial Guards character while he's like shipped off to like various planets, and just to show how like shit it is. Maybe he's like a survivor off Cadia, and he just like gets sent to like different planets and like different hive worlds, and is like, oh fuck, all this shit's happening. Like he has to fight off against orcs. And like the space xenomorphs, I forgot their name. Tyranids? No.
The Tyranids? Yes.
Yeah, the Tyranids. And then the space anime people.
That is very anti-descriptive. Do you mean the Eldar?
No, not the Eldar.
The Tau?
Yeah, the Tau, the greater good people.
You mean the ones who are like weirdly sketchy because it's basically a cult?
Yes.
Yes.
They also showed off Space Marine 2 more on
yes, Space Marine 2 looks amazing.
I know. I saw, I think someone on TikTok was showing off like the various weapons, the melee weapons you can have. One was obviously the chainsword, One was like the hammer, the power sword. Fuck, I forgot. There was a lot. You might know like the various like Space Marine weapons.
I mean, there's a lot of weapons they could have that would be kind of cool to be able to see and use, but like, it's not that out of the cults. Always yay with the cults.
Yeah, cults.
We always need more cults. Yes.
Plasma, flamer, sniper, heavy. Melta, Thunderhammer. That was it.
Almost like you're gonna say gravity hammer. I'm like, yeah, that's Halo, man. What the fuck?
Oh, dude, did you know that? I saw this like on Reddit. Apparently, in the first Halo, they modeled like an actual xenomorph, and they planned to have like a crossover with aliens.
Huh. That would be kind of fun, though. That does sound super fun as like a concept. Okay,
so I saw like a power fist was like a melee weapon too that you just punch people.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was an actual thing.
Yeah, it's been a thing for ages.
A combat knife. The combat knife looked pretty cool in like the gameplay. The chainsword. Power sword, thunderhammer, power fist, storm shield. I think that was it. Looked pretty cool. I honestly can't wait. Space Marine 2 looks so awesome. So great.
No, it does. It does for sure.
Are you going to play it when it comes out on September 9th?
If I can get a copy, yeah.
You think your PC will be able to handle it? Because I'm just going to get it on
probably
console.
I think it'll be able to handle it. My only issue is like, could I afford it?
Right, yeah. Let's see. Marvel Rivals got a release date. December 6th. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of keen to play. I'm kind of excited to try Marvel Rivals over anything else.
And one thing that they showed off was they're adding Captain America and the Winter Soldier, which is cool. And then at the end of the trailer, they said that all characters and future characters are unlocked and free to play.
That's just dunking on Overwatch so hard.
Yeah, it's just dunking on Overwatch 2. Because at the beginning of Overwatch 2's life, they had the new characters relegated to the Battle Pass. So you had to either like buy them by buying levels on the Battle Pass or just like grinding them out, which basically made them pay to win. Which is this is really bad.
That's a terrible look.
Oh man, I just can't wait for Marvel Rivals to come out. They also showed off Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and it was basically just the voice actor for Indy. I forgot his name. Matt Mercer, I think. Was
it Matt Mercer?
I think it was Matt Mercer.
From Critical Role, isn't he? Because Matt Mercer's the DM in Critical Role.
Let's see, Matt Mercer. He's like one of like the two like real like famous voice actors outside of like
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill. And what is it?
Who's the guy who does all the Uncharted ones? Nolan North, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, Nolan North. Yeah, Nolan North. He's like the 1-2. I could have sworn Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Yeah, they announced it was also going to come to PlayStation.
Oh yeah. Oh, Troy Baker. Never mind.
Troy Baker. That's the one I was trying to remember.
The ones I always get confused is Matt Mercer and Troy Baker. So the three ones are Matt Mercer, Troy Baker, and Nolan North. Are like the game voice actors that are like in everything. Outside of that, I'm really excited for Indiana Jones. I saw people say like it's like very puzzle focused, which is great because Indiana Jones is all about puzzles, and it's also
heavy game.
It was also made by the same people who did the Wolfenstein games, So you're going to be punching and beating the shit out of Nazis, which is pretty cool.
It's always fun to beat the shit out of those dickheads.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about is a Twitter user called Frank by Daylight. He's a big Dead Rising and Dead by Daylight fan. He made a tweet informing people of why certain changes were made to the deluxe and remaster of Dead Rising 1. So if you guys don't know or haven't played Dead Rising 1, there's like certain characters. There's a character boss fight called Larry Chiang near like the end of the game. He looks like, or actually I'll just pull up a picture of him. He looks like very like a I would say not entirely like a racist depiction, but like really like exaggerated, I would say.
Caricature?
Yeah, caricature. And this is how he looks in like the remake. Much more normal, not really like a caricature. And people were apparently like very angry about that because they thought it was like being like woke and stuff.
I mean,
but the reason why is because way back in 2006 there was a lot of animosity between Japan and Asia/China. Larry was originally a yellow-skinned fat guy to make fun of them and even their culture. Larry was changed in the remake because Capcom/Japan do not hold that same animosity today.
Wait, so they changed it because like, we don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's basically it's like, we don't feel like being dicks.
We don't hate you as much as back then, so... Which is honestly pretty fair.
It's kind of, I don't know if I'd call it fair, but I would call it hilarious. There's a fucking hilarious reason to be like, I don't hate you as much anymore.
I mean, me and AC have both played the Yakuza games, and you'd have to be crazy to deny that there's a lot of like some of the games have like anti-Chinese sentiment.
I mean, there
like
antagonists in like 3 of them.
Or like anti like Korean and stuff like that. Like there's even a joke called Secret Koreans.
Uh-huh.
And like I think in
yeah, all those countries have sketchy history with each other, to say the least.
Yeah.
Put it mildly, it's like their history is kind of very yikes.
True. And one of the other things that they changed is they took out erotica. So if you haven't played the original games, basically you play as a reporter that takes cameras or that takes pictures of various things in the game, and one of the scores you could get was erotica, and that was by taking like cleavage shots of like certain female characters or like panty shots of like the zombies. So they took that. Yeah. They took that out.
Questions about why you'd want panty shots of zombies. That seems redundant, given it's a corpse. Why would you care about it?
Exactly.
I'm confused.
Plus, it's also creepy. Like there's like a main character in the game that hangs out in like the safe area that you can take pictures of, just because she has like a cleavage showing. And you get like points for that. But the reason they took it out was because it's 2024 and many people feel uncomfortable with certain topics in fiction. Erotica was changed because the devs felt having Frank West and therefore the player going around taking unsolicited photos of unconsenting women and also corpses was not what they wanted to be a part of the series anymore. Harassment and necrophilia are bad, but I understand why people want it back, even if it is kind of weird. I get it. And there's also a character that encourages you to take erotica photos as a part of like a side quest called Kent. This goes hand in hand with the erotica thing. Kent now wants an outtake, basically a funny shot in the remake instead of the erotica. There's also a boss fight called from a character named Cliff. Basically, in the original game, he was a Vietnam vet that was having like a PTSD episode. He'd call you a communist and try to kill you.
that genuinely just sounds hilarious.
But
As far as middle of a zombie apocalypse and a guy has a PTSD. I mean, like, I know PTSD isn't funny, but like at the same time, the whole concept of being attacked by a guy shouting you're a commie in the middle of a zombie apocalypse is very funny in a really dark way.
Yeah. So they changed it. He no longer calls Frank West a communist. Now this changes because Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster will be released in multiple countries, including China. Almost all will have voice acting in those languages. 2006 Dead Rising only had American voice acting. Times change.
I mean, okay, they want to make more money off it by selling in more territories. That's fair.
There's also yellow paint that appeared in one of the the tutorial boss fight. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, I don't really have a problem with like the yellow paint. I played through
yellow paint. I don't get what that is.
Oh, you don't know the whole yellow paint thing? So it's basically yellow paint is to show players, oh, you have to climb this, or oh, this is where we want you to go. Basically, it's because people in like the testing phase of the game could never find out where to go, because they kept on getting lost and they didn't know exactly what to do. So they put the yellow paint in to direct players. Oh, this is the right way to go.
I mean, they do that. It's just signposting. That's basic game design signposting. Where, like, I know some games do it subtly. Like, Halo has a subtle thing where on some of the floors when you go underground in the Halo, in the first game, there's, like, arrows on the floor, but they look like they're just markings that are part of the designs of the floor.
Yeah.
But they're also, if you know game design, it's clearly an arrow saying, go this fucking way, you dumbass.
One like, not overt way, I see games do it is like, oh, here's like a flashing light, or it's entirely dark in this area, but there's like a light on this door. Oh, just go this way. Stuff like that.
I mean that's true, but the main thing that they do is they just like enemies. Look,
yeah.
To think it's a guy to fight. Come, attack me, attack me, attack me!
And
then you're done.
The way Frank by Daylight rationalizes it is...
Frank by Daylight. I love it. Frank by Daylight.
It's literally only during the very first boss fight against Carlito, which is all means a tutorial fight. Does this matter? In my opinion, not at all. Most people won't even notice or care about it, but it's there for the 3% of players that might need it. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay, and new voice acting and actors. If you have seen like the trailer for the remaster, you would obviously know that the Frank West voice actor is not the same as the original 2006 version. In my opinion, I really like the original voice actor. He's been in Dead Rising 2, and well, they changed him in Dead Rising 4. And then he's also been in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, since Frank West is in those fighting games. I really wish they got him back, but I understand why they wanted to go with new voice actors. I did see someone talking about it, that the reason why they couldn't is because the contracts expired from the original game. So they couldn't get them back, which is understandable, contracts and all that.
I mean, there's also a strike going on specifically for video game voice actors.
Yeah. There was absolutely zero way that the Capcom could bring back every voice actor from 2006, and because they wanted to add voice acting to the lines that used to be text boxes, they decided to go with new voice actors entirely for a whole new experience. You don't have to like this. I understand people still want TJ. If it helps, the new voice actor for Frank West is actually really good. And TJ is like the abbreviation for the name for the Frank West voice actor.
Okay.
Terrence Rotalo. Let's see. They also added quality of life changes, fast forward time, autosaves, the new controls, and more. And all of it is toggleable in the settings of the game at any time. Is Dead Rising a perfect remake? No, there's no such thing as getting mad. There's no such thing as perfect. Getting mad over all these incredibly small inconsistencies is just so petty. The devs have put real elbow grease into this game, even though the series has been dead for 7 years. Speaking of that, Capcom recently talked about the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. They're talking about going back and like considering like their old IPs, like Dead Rising and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for that. I hope they keep making Dead Rising games because I really like Dead Rising. Maybe they bring back Lost Planet or maybe some of the other old Capcom games. Do you have any Do you have any old Capcom games that you'd want them to bring back?
No, I never played Capcom games as a kid. Like
really?
No, not even one. I didn't have like a games console or any way to play. All I had was a tree in the back garden, man.
Let's see. I'm looking up this one since I did bring up that Capcom was trying to revive some of their classic IPs. One IP that I see a lot of people want to bring back is Dino Crisis.
Yeah, it's true, but with the way remakes go for games, it's really hit or miss as to whether that will be playable or not.
Which is, if you guys haven't played Dino Crisis, it's basically just Dino Resident Evil, at least from the first game. I have never played any of the Dino Crisis games, so take that with a grain of salt if you want. If you have played Dino Crisis, then...
Oh wait, I have played Capcom games, because aren't the RE games Capcom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played those, but that's about it, man.
Let's see. Black Myth Wukong just came out. I bought it. I plan on playing it on Friday when I get off, or on Friday and Saturday. Yeah. Friday and Saturday are my days off, so I plan on playing it. It's it's not on Xbox. It's only on PlayStation and PC, which is kind of funny. But apparently, there were official guidelines. If you got like an early copy of Black Myth Wukong,
certain things. But from what I can tell, they just wanted people to talk about the game and not like politics around the game.
So I have it pulled up right here on the dock. Brief Black Myth Wukong. Notice, by using the game key and creating content, you acknowledge that you have been informed of the following content, and your statements are not related to the marketing team. Do's and don'ts. Do's, enjoy the game. Don'ts, do not insult or other influencers or players. Don'ts, do not use any offensive language or humor. Don'ts, do not include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, fetishization, and other content that instigates negative discourse. Do not use trigger words such as quarantine or isolation or COVID-19. Do not discuss content related to China's game industry policies, opinions, news, etc.
I mean, half of that stuff that I wouldn't even think of doing in a review anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you're telling us about a bunch of shit that wouldn't necessarily be brought up unless somebody really had some random bone to pick about something.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen, like, I saw Moon. He's like a big streamer on Twitch. I saw him, like, when he was streaming Black Myth Wukong, he just put a bunch of, like, the words that they, he posted, I think, titled it COVID, isolation, China, politics, nudity, feminist, stuff like that, just in the title. I thought it was funny, just to make fun of the whole thing.
No, I would too. I'd be like, bruh, this is stupid. I want to play a video game. It's not that deep, man.
I'm really looking forward to playing Black Myth Wukong. I've heard a lot of people say it's like really good, and it's like a real good Souls-like. I've been like on a Souls-like kick recently, ever since I got back into playing Elden Ring, the DLC and stuff. So I hope it's good. If not, I can just get a refund or something.
Or play Elden Ring, you know.
Yeah, or Bloodborne. So something else that came up. Apparently, merchandise for ACOLYTE has been removed from the Disney's online store.
What? What's been removed?
The ACOLYTE stuff. On the Disney store?
Like, merch stuff?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't see that.
Let's see.
That's a weird thing to just like pull down that fast. It's like people are still gonna buy the fucking merch. You've already made it. You might as well just let people buy it till you run out. It's like we're just not gonna resupply. Probably a better strategy, I'd rate.
Yeah, when I go to the Disney store and type in ACOLYTE, it just shows up Star Wars stuff. I'm not seeing anything like ACOLYTE specific.
It's also possible they do that, like they just put everything under Star Wars when you hit a certain point. Like after the show is done, they're like, okay, done.
Let's see, Ewoks, Grogu, Groot, Jar Jar Binks, Nubs. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything ACOLYTE related. Oh, Nubs. Oh, that's the Young Adventures one. Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy that they took out the ACOLYTE stuff.
It's pretty fast to do it, though.
Yeah, right after they announced that the season 2 they just canceled it. Let's see, what else? What have you been up to, AC, this week?
Me, mostly, streaming, editing, sleeping.
Oh yeah, you just recently did the new video on the channel, right?
Yeah, I finished that, and we're gonna probably try and record the second one tomorrow.
Yeah.
My life is gonna go down for a bit. It's fine. Any work is good work, I rate.
Ooh,
as long as I'm working and building it up.
So, I think oh no, I didn't talk about this last time. Monster Hunter Wild stuff got released. So armor is no longer gender locked, which is nice.
Huh, I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah, so in Monster Hunter, depending on if you choose male or female in like the beginning of the game when you're creating your character, you get access to 2 different types of armor, the male and the female version. So like in I can actually just Monster Hunter male / female armor. I can just show like the differences. So like the Rathalos armor, the one on the left is the male and the one on the right is the female. The Rathian, one on the right is female, one on the left is male, stuff like that. But now in Wild, it's not gonna be like gender locked. So, say you want to look like the one on the right, the one that looks like a dress for Rathian. You can do that if you're having a male character.
Oh, that could be kind of fun if you want to do like just you like the look better or whatever.
Yeah. Honestly, it looks pretty nice. I have been seeing people like, time to get like the male characters put in like bikinis and stuff because I think some armor like some monsters kind of looks like that. Like if I think the Kirin armor is like a good reflection of that, like how much it looks differently. I mean, not that differently, but honestly, like the male one kind of shows a little bit more than the female.
I mean, the male one can because like,
but hey,
you don't have breasts, mate.
Yes, I know that.
But
hey, that's a really good thing for people that want to mix it up. What else? Honestly, there was not a lot of stuff that I actually put on the dock.
To be fair, that's just the end of the news, man. We've just talked about the end of the news. Now we can talk about all our opinions. The one game that actually plays a femboy. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't want to play as a femboy. Well, Chris would. Chris really wants to play as a femboy. It's like
nah,
in a game. He just needs to play as a femboy, and he will deny it, but like he will take the first opportunity to be a femboy. Like that. Boom.
No. Let's.
He doth protest.
What else do you want to talk about, AC?
I mean, we could talk about literally anything. There is so much to talk about. There is opinions on everything, ranging from the fact that the X-Men movies are bizarre things, but that will be covered when we actually watch them. But there's also the fact that, like, I don't know, the coolest movie prop of all time is probably the Nostromo. Giant fucking prop, though, that thing.
Oh, speaking of...
Also, Alien Romulus came out.
Yeah, I saw Alien Romulus.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm unlikely to go see it in cinema, to be fair.
It was really good. I liked it. I mean, do you mind if we if I talk about like spoilers and stuff if you're not going to be watching it?
No, I don't mind at all.
So I'll just say this: Alien Romulus is really good. I highly suggest people go and watch it. That's like my non-spoiler stuff. So my spoiler stuff for Alien Romulus, if you guys don't want to get spoiled, like mute, stuff like that, skip ahead. So they bring back the character from the first movie, the synthetic.
Oh.
But not the same synthetic, but like they used his likeness and they like deep faked it onto like another android, and they got AI to replicate the voice. And apparently the director went to like the widow, like the surviving family member of the actor. I don't know the actor's name off the top of my head, but the wife said that he felt that I can just look up the actor's name. Actor for Alien Synth. His name was Ash. What was the actor's name? Ian Holm.
Ian Holm.
So the wife said that Ian felt a little, I would say, like, left out of like stuff prior to his death, because
Ian Holm, for anyone who doesn't know Ian Holm, he was also the original Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Which is a fascinating thing to know.
So they bring the face and the voice back. I thought it was okay. I would have been a little bit iffy if they didn't get like permission from his family and they just slapped him on like how they did for the Flash movie.
Flash movie, what a piece of shit.
When that whole ending, they just got like a bunch of Michael Reeves. Was it Michael? No, not Michael Reeves. Christopher Reeves. They got Christopher Reeves. They just slapped his face on a Superman, and it's like really, really bad. And it just looks really fake and weird. Like, yeah,
it just looks bad, and it's not even necessarily that it looks fake. It just looks really bad, and in a really bizarre way. If that makes sense to anyone listening to this, it's just really unnecessary.
And this isn't like the first time stuff like this has happened. They did it in Rogue One.
Yes, they did it with.
They did it in Cushing. Rogue One with Cushing when they brought back Grand Moff Tarkin.
They did. Although I do believe for Tarkin the technology was different. And it was pre-deepfakes.
Yeah,
so they did it differently back then, and they did get permission from his estate, as far as I understand.
Yeah, I'm looking at the article.
So
let's see.
Like, for Tarkin, they did get permission. They did make sure. They also
they did pay them for his likeness.
Yes, they did pay for his likeness, and they did get permission first. They did the same thing for Carrie Fisher, because I believe she died a month after they showed her the like what her younger version looked like in that.
Yeah,
movie.
I think she
died
was
like
in
a month later.
She was in the same movie, Rogue One, right at the end.
Yeah, she was right. Yeah. They also deepfaked her face in, but then like Carrie Fisher herself died a month later.
Yeah, unfortunately. Speaking of Rogue One, when I saw that like, Grand Moff Tarkin was in it, I was like, oh man, I didn't know that guy was still alive. because I couldn't.
That dude would have been like 110.
Yeah, I couldn't. I did not.
Same age as Christopher Lee.
I didn't know how old the guy was, and I didn't know that he had died. And I was like, oh wow, they got him back. He still looks like he did in like the old Star Wars movies. And then afterwards, I looked it up and like, oh, he died.
He died of like stomach cancer. No, he died of lung cancer.
Oh, damn,
if I remember correctly. So he died. Fun fact though, he was best friends with Christopher Lee. Like they were both considered for the role of Grand Moff Tarkin. We almost had Christopher Lee Grand Moff Tarkin instead of Peter Cushing.
Dang, really? I didn't know that.
And then like 2 decades later, we did get Christopher Lee in Star Wars as well as Dooku.
Yeah. They also in Alien Romulus, they also bring back the black goop that was in Prometheus.
And in Covenant.
Yeah, in Covenant. I hate Covenant. I don't like how David the android was like, oh, I created the xenomorphs. But so they bring back the black goo, and the pregnant character injects herself with the black goo because she gets stabbed by an alien, like with their tail, and gets put in the wall to get face hugged. They get her out, and she's like bleeding out, and the friendly android Andy is like, oh, this could possibly help her. But like the main character lady says like, no, I don't trust it, so they don't give it to her. She manages to get back on the ship, and then she injects herself with the black goo because she thinks it will help her and the baby. And she gives birth to an egg that opens up, and have you seen what? No. Have you seen what the dude looks like?
No.
Okay. I gotta show you because this guy looks.
Yeah, remember to share your screen.
I thought I was sharing my screen.
Nope.
Okay, I haven't shared my screen this whole time. 1 second. You back there so you don't show up. Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so that's what the baby like grows up to be. Like a big like cross between an engineer and like an alien.
That's so weird.
And apparently it's like the dude is an actual like actor or not an actor, he's like a basketball player, that's why he looks so tall.
I mean, that's basically what they did for the original Alien in Alien. The first one, they got like a really tall dude. Just a zombie, man. It's just a zombie. It's always a zombie. They're all zombies, man. Doesn't?
I saw a lot of people like drawing comparisons to like the
weird
one from Resurrection. But yeah. I thought the one in Romulus looked a lot like creepier. Because the whole time, like, he goes to the mom that birthed them and like sucks out all her blood with his like weird ass tongue thing. It's not like an actual like xenomorph like second mouth, but it's like a little leech that comes out of his mouth.
That's so weird.
And the whole time his like tail is like actively growing. Oh, it's like super creepy looking. But the main girl ends up like evacuating the dude into space and kills it.
What, the same way Ripley does to the first Xenomorph?
Oh, speaking of that, so the reason why the alien, like, there's the alien on the Romulus space station is because the alien from the first movie that Ripley ejected into space, they found that alien which apparently like cocooned itself into like a meteor or something to like protect itself or like hibernate. They got that, broke it out and like just started like doing experiments on it to create like the black goo. They also like engineered a bunch of face huggers, and dude, the face huggers in this movie are fucking crazy. They're creepy. They're scary. They're scarier than like the. Creepy, but... They're even creepier and scarier than the facehuggers have ever been in like any of the other movies. They were actively like hunting down people, like breaking through like windows and like doors and stuff. There's a scene where a guy catches one in like midair, and like the facehugger's like trying to stick its thing down the dude's throat, and it's like reaching towards the throat and like jabbing it and jabbing at his mouth. And they also managed to free one of the characters from the facehugger by cryo freezing its tail to get it to loosen up, and like that thing is deep down the lady's throat. They like pull it out, and like this thing is like down its throat, and they show like the they show like the thing's sucker, or like where what it uses to implant like the embryo down its throat, like coming out of its mouth, out of the character's mouth. It's so creepy.
That sounds so creepy, and like, but like exactly what would make for a good scary thing in Alien, like in an Alien movie, to make it feel properly like Aliens would have that kind of creepy shit.
Yeah. It really goes to show you like how crazy like the facehuggers actually are. They just basically face fuck you, and their salon is just like going deep down your throat.
Bro, this fucker deep throat you, man, all the way.
I also saw a lot of people talking about like the main characters of like the main girl characters of like the Alien movies. They brought up Ripley. They brought up the lady from Prometheus. They brought up the lady in this movie, and they left out. Have you seen Alien vs. Predator?
I have.
They left out the main character lady from that movie. So I just show this. Someone posted on Twitter, I think the leading ladies of the Aliens franchise are neat. They showed Ripley. They showed Shaw from Prometheus. I don't know who this lady is. Maybe from Covenant or something. And they showed the lady from Romulus. And then someone quote tweeted it and said, she's a part of the franchise, by the way. And it showed like the leading lady from Alien vs. Predator. And people were like, a lot of people were saying, oh, she doesn't count. And then I retweeted it and said, people saying she isn't as Cope. She gets the same mark Yacha gets after hunting an alien. It's an alien head shield and an alien tail spear. That in of itself is fucking badass.
Dude, she was awesome. No, she was awesome.
Oh man, I love that movie. I saw, out of that whole discourse, I saw a lot of people praising the Alien vs. Predator movie being this like dumb fun, and a lot of people like saying, oh, it's actually really good, and going back to it, which makes me think that we should watch that movie for a video. Sure. But not Requiem. But not Requiem, because Requiem fucking sucks.
No, we should definitely watch movies that suck. Watching movies that suck and reacting to them is excellent content, because you end up talking more through it and you make content more than like watching a movie. That shit is hilarious.
I agree, but with the problem with Requiem is just that it's so fucking dark. You can't see anything. Like, I remember seeing Requiem on DVD when I was a little kid, and I went into like the settings to up the brightness and the contrast because I couldn't see shit. So
yeah, I have heard that a lot of people complain that the movie's just too fucking dark for no reason.
Yes. So if you can get if you can get a copy that some fan did that ups the brightness and stuff, then yes, definitely we can watch that. I could
probably do that myself, to be fair. But like, bruh, The other things I need us to watch is like the '60s Godzilla films.
Oh, like the Showa ones?
The Showa films. Do you know how fucking funny those Showa films are?
Oh yeah.
God damn, they're hilarious. They're so good to talk about because they're so stupid. They're so stupid. The level of dumb in those movies is hilarious.
Oh, speaking of fucking Godzilla, dude, I saw people talking about this dude. He's a YouTuber. What is it? He did breakdowns on like the Pokemon Battle Royales and stuff.
Yeah.
I think his name was Locked In or something. Let's see. Let's see. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, Lockstain. Okay, that's the dude. So, no, shut up. I'm not playing the video. So apparently in the video, I saw people like talking about like a specific clip that he says that the only Godzilla movies that really leaned into Godzilla being like really like scary and like horror, like what is it, commentary on nuclear destruction are -1 and the original Godzilla. Like all the other ones are just like dumb.
The rest aren't dumb. They commentate on different things. So, Godzilla -1 comments kind of more on the like after image of it, and makes Godzilla as like this main villain and analogy for like a lot of the character drama that's happening in Godzilla -1. Shin Gojira is all about the Japanese government and their failure to respond to like certain major disasters. Yeah. The Showa era after the original is just dumb shit. To be fair, everything after the original Godzilla film is just kind of them being like, "Fuck it, we want to have fun," and they're not really an analogy. Then the first of the Heisei films was kind of returned to like a scary monster. Not so much an analogy, but he does have the power of that analogy.
Okay.
And like, I like.
All right, so I think okay, here it is. I found the clip that people were talking about on Twitter. So right now he's talking about like how Rambo, the first one, was like a metaphor for PTSD and stuff.
Yeah.
And like the sequels were like glorifying the violence he's doing.
No, they got more into like action stuff. It was weird. But I do hate, like, I will say this one thing.
What?
I do hate that people seem to take like silly as meaning it's not worthy, because that's always what it feels like when they say that. And I'm like, we need silly. If everything was serious, the world would be a fucking depressing place all the time. Because silly is like an escape a bit. You need a little bit of silly in your life. It also means like you can find joy in like weird things, and that's fine. You don't need everything to be like super serious metaphors for every fucking thing that happens in life. That would make cinema kind of boring in a way. Because then you just like go watch it and you're like, eh.
That's one of the reasons why I really like the direction the MonsterVerse Godzilla, the MonsterVerse movies are going. Like the latest one is like stupid, like monsters fighting each other, like good fun, while -1 was like really, really serious and sad at moments.
But I will say, like, there's a fine line, because you don't want everything to just be dumb fun. You want both. You can't have like one or the other. You can't shit on silly and be like, haha, we need just serious. It's like, it's not a good criticism to say it's silly. That's never a good criticism, in my opinion. There are certain things where it's like, you probably shouldn't make that into something silly. Godzilla, by its very nature, is silly just by its premise alone. Like, even the original one is... I mean, I know that it's dark. A lot of the film is depressing as fuck, and it's an analogy type deal, but it's also like... It's a giant rubber monster that looks pretty fucking silly. That's part of why the Showa era just devolved into the silly bullshit it did. Because, like, you go watch the Heisei era where they had, like, better monsters and better effects and stuff.
Yeah.
And...
I feel like the Heisei
evolved the same way.
I feel like the Heisei ones like slowly moved away from like the silliness and like family friendly stuff like the Showa did, and like started doing like a mix of like good monster fights and like a more serious story.
Like, no, they had better stories in them. They were like trying to tell specific types of stories that were a bit more grounded, and they had like a purpose to them. But the Showa was just like, fuck it, whatever, let's see what happens, this is going to be hilariously dumb. And it was very 60s. Like, you can tell it's also of its era. And I'm like, I don't like the way people always shit on it like it's silly. I mean, they are daft moves and they're fun to make fun of, but I don't like making fun of the fact that it's silly alone. That is... That feels invalid. To make fun of something for being silly just feels like you want the world to be very serious all the time, and that takes away from... It takes away from the interesting nuances of something, where you say everything about it's dumb because it's silly. Like, that is the worst excuse I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like that. I like silly things. We don't need everything to be serious all the time.
Yeah.
And you can be silly and have good writing as well, though. That is also a factor.
All right, let's get back to this video.
Well, I mean, we are on a podcast today, so like, just watching's not the greatest idea.
Oh yeah, I can just...
so funny. You're... This man... This man has not watched fucking Heisei Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like...
Oh my god, he called Godzilla a children's franchise. Oh no.
I mean, the Showa was, but like, I don't, it does, I don't like it when they do shit like this, because this tends to be the type of person who's just like, it not serious, it not good.
And it's just so dumb. I don't like it.
I don't know, it's aggravating to watch shit like that. But there are some things where it's just like, I don't know, like, silly's good, but like, you need to have sometimes you need to also have a point to your story. Because like, I'd say a good example of this would be the Indiana Jones films, right? Especially the first three, where they are quite silly in premise a lot, and James Bond films, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're quite silly in their premise alone, but they're still like, they're still telling a story. And there's still something to be got out of him, even though they're incredibly silly. And I'd argue the same for the Showa ones, because the other thing that they do is, yeah, they're more aimed at kids, but that doesn't make them bad because they're aimed at kids. Having something aimed at kids does not make it bad. Having something aimed mindlessly at kids does make it bad. And also, it's fine to see shit that you think is kind of cool, but it's not meant for you. It's like not targeted at you, so it's not going to say the things you think it should. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's dumb. It's just dumb.
It is.
I'm totally fine with like the MonsterVerse being like the dumb fun, like we have Godzilla and Kong. Kong's riding Godzilla as they fight a ice salamander with a orangutan that has a whip. And then the Japanese like Godzilla movies are like more grounded and serious and stuff like that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Godzilla and Kong, the new one?
Not yet. I've been meaning to, but I just haven't quite gotten around to it yet.
Have you saw Kong versus Godzilla?
Yeah. That's the one with Mechagodzilla, right?
Yeah. Really,
I have seen that
one.
That
was fun. That one was fun. So what do you have planned for this week?
Well, I mean, it's Thursday, so it's most of this weekend. It's just like going out.
Like stream-wise.
Finishing. Stream-wise, tomorrow, I don't really have a plan yet. It is my face game Friday, but like tomorrow, I'm probably going to stream something. I will figure it out when I get there. I was thinking of maybe streaming either Yakuza or Crash Bandicoot, depending on how I'm feeling. Although right now I'm feeling more Crash Bandicoot because like I've been playing that game like in my off time and I've been enjoying it way too much to not be like, yeah, I should stream a bit of this just to be like, look at this chaos, this abject insanity, and how annoying half of these levels fucking are because they're just like, look, you got to the top. No, I have dropped you all the way to the bottom again because get fucked. You know what I mean?
Are you you're doing like the remastered one, right? The trilogy?
Yeah. The Insane Trilogy, yeah.
Which Crash Bandicoot are you on? The first one still?
The first one and second one, because I kind of played them bouncing because I never paid that much attention to the story. I was just playing it for the like nostalgia
like the fun?
of it to begin with, and just like the fun of it. The other game I've been playing a lot is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, which I've also been enjoying immensely. I fucking love these games.
I see you playing that one a lot when I see you on Discord.
Yeah, that one I've been jamming to. I've just been having a lot of fun playing it because that's the other game from like my childhood that I played around the same time I played the Crash Bandicoot games from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, I'm gonna jam both of these and have fun with both of these nostalgia-driven insanity cases.
All right. So for me tomorrow, I'm definitely going to be playing Black Myth Wukong. Maybe Girl will join me because they've been wanting to come in on stream and just hang out and stuff. But Wildheart has a question for us. What was the first game you both remember playing?
Oddly enough, the first game I remember playing. There's a few games I remember playing. One of them was obviously Crash Bandicoot, like the OG Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
I remember also playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1, the original Pro Skater 1 from back in the day. I remember those games very vividly because I even I remember the warehouse level. I remember flopping through that a lot. And then the one other game that I remember that was like one of my early memory games was my brain will conjure the name, Monsters Inc. game, where you would play as like Mike and Sully and just like, it was basically like playing, it was like an adventure game where you just kind of explore and find collectibles and stuff. I can't remember the type of game it's called. It will come to me eventually.
Sounds familiar. I think I might have played that one when I was little too, maybe.
Yeah, like, I think the closest thing I can't even think of another game that's like it these days because it's like style of game has died long ago. It was like Spyro. Sorry, it came to me a while.
Oh,
in, like,
yeah.
It was like Spyro. It was kind of like Spyro, but you're like playing as monsters and characters you can't fly.
Right.
Or like a Mario-esque. I think Mario still does the type of game that it is, but like not much else.
For me, I played a lot of.
Wait, there's one other game.
What?
I just remembered. I forgot what to say. It was a Tom and Jerry game where you would play against each other as Tom and Jerry, and you would like. It was like a 3D fighter game where you ran around a house attacking each other with like stuff you could pick up around in the garden. It was fucking great.
So one game I really remember playing was on the GameCube. It was called Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. That was the one game that got me into Godzilla so much. That and like the 2000 remake movie. The one that had Zilla in it.
That was Destroy All Monsters, I think. I think you played the tie-in game for Destroy All Monsters.
No, I played Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's a tie-in game to Godzilla Kill All Monsters, it was one of those early 2000 ones that had like a long fucking title.
Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee came out in 2002. I don't remember it being a tie-in game. I think it was just a game based on.
You call it Godzilla Kill All Monsters, right? Wait, did you say Destroy All Monsters?
Yeah, Destroy All Monsters.
Tie-in game. Destroy All Monsters, 1968. That's the movie is called.
Yeah, it's the name of the movie, but I don't think it's a tie-in game. Not like how, let's say the Van Helsing game was a tie-in for the Van Helsing movie with.
Yeah, but like, because it was also the ones that came from like what year did you say that one came out?
The Melee came out in 2002.
Okay, so it's before Godzilla Final Wars. Oh wait, there's also Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, which also came out in 2002.
And there's a sequel called Godzilla Save the Earth.
There's also Godzilla 2000, which ironically came out in 1999, which I think
and that one, and I know for a fact Destroy All Monsters had Godzilla 2000s as a playable, because it had Godzilla 90s and then Godzilla 2000, and then it had Mechagodzilla, and I think the Japanese one had the Kiryu version of Mechagodzilla. It had Orga. Okay, I can name these off the top of my head. It had Godzilla 90s, 2000s, Mechagodzilla, King Ghidorah, Mecha King Ghidorah, Orga, Rodan, Anguirus. What else? Destroya.
So all the Heisei monsters. Did it have Hidora?
No, it didn't. It didn't have Hidora.
Did it have what's his fucking name? That weird beetle dude.
Oh, it had Megalon. Megalon too. Megalon. And Gigan, yeah. Yeah, but not Chainsaw Hand Gigan, the regular Gigan.
Who can Gigan? Yeah. He has like a chainsaw thing in his chest.
And then I think Godzilla Save the Earth had a lot more.
Yeah.
Let's see. It had 6 new. It had Baragon, Jet Jaguar, Megaguirus, Mogira, Mothra, and Space Godzilla, and Biollante. Oh no, Biollante was cut due to licensing reasons.
Biollante. That was a weird fucking crocodile monster.
With plants.
Yeah. It's a crocodile monster made out of plants. I also remember playing Bully a lot on PlayStation 2. I never played Bully. Actually, no, I did play Bully.
Oh, speaking of, I think they said that they're gonna try to bring Bully back to modern consoles. I think I saw like a tweet about that.
I mean, that would be a good Rockstar move. I will say though, I think for today we may have used up our lot of time, mostly because I have a dog who's being like, "Fucking feed me, please."
All right. Thank you for the question, Wildheart. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you always for the questions. They're fantastic. Anyone else got any questions for us before we start wrapping it up?
Yeah, you can go ahead and redeem them via channel points or send us an email at 2idiotgamersmail@gmail.com. That's 2idiotgamersmail@gmail.com. If you want. If not, we're going to go ahead and call it. Not a lot of stuff this week.
It's a bit more quiet. We're still working out what to do when there's no news, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Although most of it's probably going to be ranting about old games and the fact that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a fantastic anime, and I don't know if Chris has seen it yet, and if he hasn't...
Yeah, I have. I've seen...
How many parts?
I've seen up to Stone Ocean. I mean, I've seen, I think, up to Stone Ocean where they they meet Yo-Yo Ma.
Yo-Yo. I think I know which bit you've seen. I haven't finished Stone Ocean yet. I'm gonna probably go back and rewatch it all and finish Stone Ocean because I think it was like only the first half was out when I tried watching it, and I was like, I can't be bothered to watch like half a thing and then come back later.
Now that you
I'd rather watch the whole thing.
Now that you mentioned JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, I got reminded that the voice actor for Lisa passed away.
Oh no.
The Japanese voice actor.
One other thing that did happen was the live action One Piece. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it got for season 2.
But it got its Kureha. It cast as Kureha, who is the voice actress for Leela from Futurama. That one was not one I was expecting, but originally it was Jamie Lee Curtis was going to play the part, and due to scheduling conflicts, no longer.
Oh, that sucks. She was like really. She was really
keen.
Yeah, she was really keen on playing it. So Lisa's voice actor Atsuko Tanaka passed away due to an unknown illness at age 61. She voiced Motoko, looks like from Ghost in the Shell, Conan from Naruto, Castor, Ryoko, Claudette, Kurua, Lisa from JoJo, and Bayonetta.
She had a lot of voices.
Yeah.
Voice actors are pretty cool. Voice actors are incredibly impressive.
That's unfortunate, man. It seems like everyone, so many people are just passing away due to something this year. Be it Misty and Jesse's voice actor that we covered last week, or Lisa. It really sucks.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Well, if that is all the questions for today, we will end it here. We will be back. Never fear. We'll be back in a week with more of our interesting opinions on video games and the fact that Crash Bandicoot's actually better than Black Sun Wukong.
Better than Star Wars,
Fuck
right?
me. Black Myth Wukong. Well, which game?
Crash Bandicoot better than Star Wars?
Which one?
All of them. Every single Star Wars.
How?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, you were the one who said it, not me.
I mean, you said it was better than Black Myth Wukong, so.
Yeah.
Is it better than Star Wars?
I don't know. You said it, not me.
Well, I'm asking you a question. Is it?
That's what I said. It depends. Which one? Which game? It's not better than the movies, but that's because that's cross. That it doesn't tell a better story. It's a sillier story, but it's not a better story.
Let's see. What of? Is it better than the Clone Wars game?
Yes.
Is it better
Clone
than
Wars
the
game is kind of? It's also mired with problems from fucking Microsoft. They made it so you can't save in the game.
Is it better than the Revenge of the Sith game?
No.
Let's see. Is it better? Oh, I gotta look up the Star Wars games.
This is gonna go on forever.
is it better than Jedi Survivor?
Different. Not necessarily better, but different. Also, why do I keep vanishing off stream? That's really weird. I keep becoming a black box.
Oh, it's because I have to keep you popped out in Discord. Let's see. Is it better than KOTOR?
No.
Let's see.
Flat out, just not even close. Not even the same ballpark. Not even the same game.
Is it better than... Let's see... Jedi Starfighter?
I haven't played that one yet, so I can't say.
Is it better than Attack of the Clones?
That's a movie.
The Game Boy Advance game.
I didn't have a Game Boy Advance, so no, I don't know.
Is it better than Jedi Knight?
Which one?
Both.
There's more than 2. There's like 4.
Let's see. Is it better than
Knight?
Dark Forces?
Dark Forces. It's Dark Forces, Outcast, Academy. It's probably better than Dark Forces. Dark Forces is sketchy, man. Although the remake of Dark Forces looks really good. Well, the fan modded version. It's just kind of like a Doom mod. It just looks really good.
Is it better than Battlefront?
That is a dumb question because there are 4 of them.
I mean, you played them all, so...
Yeah, I have, and it's probably better than the original Battlefront 1. Battlefront, yeah, and probably, I don't know. The original Battlefront 2 is... People say it's great, and then I've played it, and I've been like, it's fine, I guess. So, I don't know, it's more fun than those. It's not more fun than the newer ones, though.
What about Force Unleashed?
Force Unleashed is so much more fun. Different game. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you could keep going on with Star Wars games, and I'll be like, it's better, it's worse, it's about the same. For the most part, I wouldn't say it's the best game of all time. I'd just say it's a lot more fun than, I don't know, any of your Godzilla games.
I would say Crash Bandicoot is not better than any of the Godzilla games I've played.
You've played what? That's unlikely.
Okay. Oh, speaking of, they just announced that they just showed off gameplay footage of the new MonsterVerse game.
MonsterVerse game.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're gonna have to come back because I desperately need to go feed my dog. We were supposed to wrap up like 20 minutes ago.
Wait, it's called Kong Survival Instinct, and it's side scroller game that has a giant spider.
It's a Kong scroller game where you kill spiders.
So I said side scroller game.
That's what I said. Side scroller game where you kill spiders.
No, you said Kong scroller game.
Nah, close enough. It scrolls and you play as Kong.
All right. Well,
for Kong scroller.
That's going to be it for the podcast. We will see you guys next week. Hope you all have a lovely, lovely rest of your Thursday.
Yeah, or your Friday, or your Saturday, depending on when you listen to this. Because you could be listening to it any time between now and next Tuesday.
Or maybe you're listening to this in the vast future, somehow.
I mean, if you're in the infinite future and you're listening to 2 idiots talk about the news of Black Myth Wukong or Godzilla games, I feel sorry for you. You're listening to some weird shit, man. You found some really indie stuff. Now we're gonna go and attack Candy Opals with some what's the word for it? Raiders.
Yes, Raiders.
We're gonna get some Lost Ark.
But yeah, that's gonna be it for the podcast. See you guys next week. Go watch the latest video that we put out on the 2 Idiot Gamers YouTube channel.
Watch us.
Where
go watch us react to the X-Men.
Yeah, where we watch the X-Men. Slight audio problems because Disney kept on claiming it.
Disney was like, oh look, slight audio claim.
Yeah.
Claim. And then by the time we got to the end and like did anything, I was so tired I couldn't. I was like, I'm done. This is going up. I got it to go up with no claim, so it's done. I'm gonna go sleep now.
Don't worry, AC. The next video that we do, AC's gonna make sure it's.
But I'm gonna just use all the lessons I learned from this one and make it better.
Yes.
It's gonna get better and better until we're
better. But yeah,
it was onwards and upwards.
Bye, guys. Say it, AC.
Johnny.
Bye, guys.